Where's StaticTokyo again?
I know what you're thinking. Yo, Static, you haven't uploaded in a year. I wanna die. Dog, I don't even know where to begin with this one. This is probably a pretty long video to start out the year, and probably a very downer topic. Today, folks, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot of documents. We have a fuck ton of documents to go through. Some being long, some being pretty short, and then a few Twitter posts to go over as well. TLDR, a VTuber agency by the name of Virtue EX. Dumb nigga, VE. It says it right there, virtual entertainment. Damn, I'm already fucking up. Stay on your game, bro. Damn, I know it's been a minute, but shit. Virtux? Virtue? Fuck it, I'm gonna just say Virtue. It doesn't exist anymore. Due to CEO Ray Flynn, I'm just gonna say Ray, lying to talents.
But stay underground, bro. You ain't never getting out the hood.
Slandering.
That motherfucker's cheating!
Manipulating.
Stop manipulating me! Stop! Stop!
This morning, I woke up today and this morning.
And ignoring their own talents for what seems to be a little over a year. Yeah, we got ourselves an interesting one. For starters, as always, don't go harassing anyone. If anything, show the now indie VTubers love and support, because yes, all the Virtue EX talents are now indie due to it, you know, exploding. And all my sources will be linked in the description, because some things may be shortened for brevity's sake, especially if I feel like I'm kind of just repeating myself a lot. All the VTubers will be linked in the description as well. Okay, first document. Scary.
I'll stretch you, Mom. I'll stretch you. Don't you tempt me. What the frick is even... Never mind. I take that back. I regretted it like immediately when I said it. I'm so sorry.
We're starting from the longest doc to shortest, I think, hopefully. This is the longest doc we have today. To start off, Scary was hired back in October of 2023 and was set to debut basically the year after with a whole new wave. Now, when it came to Scary's design, they were promised two things. They will be in a group chat with the artist and Ray, the CEO. And they will come up with 4 designs and then pick a final one. So basically like 4 drafts and then picking which one they want to commit to. Ray didn't do a group chat. In fact, didn't let the talent speak to the artists themselves at all, as we can see in the screenshots provided. Bro would keep saying, I'll go ask them. Like, bro, let me talk to the nigga drawing me, please. Like, why we gotta do this telephone shit? This also made it more nerve-wracking because Scary was doing a chill birthday subathon, and in common subathon fashion, they had goals, some of which tied to their 2.0 design. Scary begins messaging Ray, to which Ray gave no response at all. Yeah, it's a bit of foreshadowing. This is a common theme. Scary also highlights that another talent under Virtue was having work done by the same artist, and Ray would show them the other talent's design, but not their own. Ray did end up showing Scary something, but that didn't really go far, as the last time they talked about the design was when Scary asked if the design still follows Twitch's TOS guidelines. When Scary signed to the company, they were promised basically 2 models. A 1.0 because they learned that the model they were using was traced and used a bit of AI.
Brother,
And then a 2.0 for late spring and early summer. And there is a screenshot discussing this issue with Ray, the CEO, and Kuzi, who seem to be working in the agency as well. They discussed outfit ideas for a future Fashion Week event. Scary ended up finding a fire artist, by the way, by the name of Panda, and Ray proceeded to get in contact with them to get work done. And Ray stated that they got an estimate of 1,200 euros, which seemed to be a lie because Panda didn't give Ray a price until 4 months after, in August. Scary again is asking to be put in a group chat with the artist, but Ray ignores and deflects the question and gives excuses as to why he can't.
See what had happened at first was...
Come to find out, Ray obviously didn't want talents and the artist to talk in private because he supposedly didn't want the artist to potentially scam them.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
When in reality, it was most likely, and in my opinion, definitely was likely due to the fact he wasn't paying them.
Are you fucking dumb?
At all. No dinero. At all. 0. I honestly don't know how the nigga thought he could get away with this.
There's no way out of this one.
And the sad part is, Panda apparently had bad experience with clients before this, so Ray did nothing but become another statistic. Kinda shitty. And also caused Scary to be more anxious and worried about whether the model would actually get done. Fuck you, Ray.
fuck you.
Ray then says that he will handle it, which, you know, at this point, he will not handle shit. And in the same statement, talks about having meeting with Vshoujo.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
Which is something we will get back to later. Scarius continue to ask about updates with their artists, to which they are ignored. But the moment that Scary brings up something that doesn't require work, they respond. And then goes back to ignoring them. Scary then, understandably so, thinks they're low-key being fired, and Ray just hasn't told them yet, because Ray has done this in the past, where he would hold off on telling a talent that they are fired.
Fuck you.
Scary went to Kuzi, who unfortunately didn't know what was going on with the whole model thing, but said they will talk to Ray and see what's going on, and also reassured Scary that they aren't being fired. Also, we should note that Kuzi was not paid at all, working for Virtue, or Vertux, or whatever.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways.
Again, Scary asked about the group chat with the artist, to which Ray was like, I'll get it done tonight. He, in fact, did not get it done tonight.
What? Nigga, what? Whoa! What?
Also turns out, Ray didn't even mention doing a group chat to the artist until August, which is around 4 months after he reached out to the artist for work. Scary then suggested that they could make the group chat, to which Ray makes more excuses and goes MIA for days. Ray tries to push blame onto Panda, the artist, saying that it took them forever to reply. But Scary never had that issue when they finally did get in contact with Panda. Of course, due to time zones, Panda would be sleeping at times, hitting that honk shoe, but that was really it. When the group chat was finally created, Panda reached out to Scary, informing them that they have not been paid, hence why the model's taking so long. Because, you know, I ain't working for free, my nigga. You get what I'm saying? Now, this is most likely, in my opinion, most definitely, probably exactly why Ray didn't want Panda to be able to talk to Scary at all. Because the nigga didn't pay up any dinero at all. Not a down payment, no nothing. Not even a penny, my nigga, not a cent. Scary then confronted Ray about not paying the artist, obviously, because he's like, yo, give them their money, their hard-earned money. And Ray started to panic on call, saying that Vshoujo's accountant is not paying them on time.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
And promising to pay Panda that day. Scary again had to contact Kuzi since Ray was ignoring them. Yet again, Kuzi says that he will let Ray know, and of course, Ray didn't pay on time at all. Panda then is like, yo gang, if I don't get my money by Thursday, we're gonna have to handle the situation differently. We're gonna have to probably run the ones or something. Okay, they didn't say that. They didn't say that. I added that bit. But it's been 7 weeks that Panda has went unpaid. Scary is obviously like, oh shit, okay, I'll try contacting Ray again. But of course, Ray has a bunch of shit happening where Scary can't get a hold of him. But Scary settles this by saying that if Ray doesn't pay by Thursday, I will just pay myself. Scary again had to go to Kuzi. Ray eventually does pay Panda, which is actually a blessing in disguise because considering that a lot of other artists weren't so lucky and they just didn't get paid at all. So, yeah. Speaking of other artists, Ray didn't pay a rigger. Ray stated that the rigging has started and updates are soon to come. Updates never came because Ray didn't actually reach out to a rigger at all, despite Ray telling Scary that the rigger took $1,800 and ghosted him. Which, due to the screenshots provided, we see that wasn't the case at all.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
He's just lying. He's a liar. He's a liar. And at that point, they were way past debut date and are constantly pushing everything back. Rafu actually ended up being the one rigging the model and also had worked for Virtue, Vertux, whatever the fuck before. And Ray wanted a complex model to be done in 3 days. 3 days. Rafu went to Scary asking if it was okay for them to pay as much as he was asking for because, you know, it's a lot of work for 3 days. And there's a rush fee. Ray was supposed to be the one to pay Rafu, which obviously never fucking happened. And apparently it didn't happen with the last model Rafu worked on for Virtue. Also, Ray would say Gunrun, yes, Gunrun, the Vshoujo Gunrun, was his best friend. And that Gunrun owned a percentage of Virtue, and that he himself owned a percentage of Vshoujo, which, if that was the case, you would have enough money to pay the fucking artist, you cap-ass nigga. Anyway, Scary didn't get overlays that they asked for. When Ray realized that Scary wasn't exactly cool with being ignored, basically, Ray would start to say slick shit and talk shit to other talents and staff about them, which is unprofessional and petty as fuck.
Fuck you.
Ray also lied about alerts being made, which only came to light because Cruz, which I'm assuming is a staff member, reached out to the artist and the artist was like, oh no, I didn't get commissioned to do anything. And then Ray just dipped when people confronted him. The nigga disappeared. He also lied about having paid watch-alongs, which is basically when you pay a content creator to watch a VTuber debut. Ray claimed to have a bunch of Vshoujo members, Doki Bird, etc. When in reality, Ray only paid for one of the watch-alongs, and the talents paid for some of their own. Ray also ghosted an artist that was supposed to work on a blob model for Scary. There was also many more empty promises, and more ignoring when Scary would ask something. And that kind of concludes Scari's doc. Obviously, make sure to give it a look over, at least read the TLDR at the bottom, because I could have skipped over some things or maybe even portrayed some things wonky. And if so, correct me in the comments. Okay, next doc. Rafu's doc isn't as long and kind of just proves that Ray is more of a shitty person. I wanted to be more tactful, but after not paying people for their work and lying, that's what you get. This doc details late payments, poor communication, and excuses, overpromising, ghosting, slandering, / shit talk about others, whether it's agencies, talents, artists, riggers, your mom, Ben 10, the fact that sardines don't belong on pizza, and other VTubers in general. The first thing that Rafu outlines is Mukaya. Sorry if I fucked your name up. I'ma just say Kaya for short because I don't want to fuck your name up the whole time. Kaya's rig was from May 16th to the 21st. Very fast time to do a rig, by the way. And payment was made after 4 months of the work being basically done. All these screenshots are a bit hard to see, so I had to actually make a copy of this document and then put it in pageless format, then make the image larger so people can read them. But I still apologize if, you know, you still can't really read it. I'm sorry. I tried my best. Basically, the screenshot shows Ray pulling every excuse out of his ass. First, they said that they were going to give Rafu a $600 tip for the crazy delays. Then it went to a whole Vshoujo lie again, saying that an account manager is in charge of payments now, and they happened to forget to accuse Rafu's payment. Then did the lie of Gunrun mentored me. No, he didn't. Then Ray ghosted Rafu, then blames the so-called very real account manager. Rafu confronts Ray again, and Ray apologizes and says that they will pay them from his personal account, which of course didn't happen at all. Then Ray makes up more excuses and raises the tip amount even more. Ray then says more excuses. Then Rafu is just like, alright, I'm gonna go talk to Kaya. To which Kaya obviously was like, what the hell? You weren't paid yet? What the fuck? So then Rafu finally got into a call with Ray, where they got paid. But of course, the tip was forgotten.
Fuck you.
What a splendid fella. What a splendid guy. Rafu was also supposed to do Scari's model, which we know about, Kosa's model, Yana's model, and Apollo's model, the last two being alternate outfits. Scari wasn't even aware Rafu was the one rigging the model until last minute, you know, due to the whole not contacting the first rigger at all. This whole thing is a mess, really, because Ray lies to Rafu saying that Scari hates her current work. What work, nigga? You didn't even talk to the person that was supposed to rig in the first place. Scari was under the assumption that it was being rigged by Sam, when in reality, Rafu was conned for a 3-day rush rig, but never got paid. That's where the first doc and this one kind of like, you know, correlate. There was also another individual who is redacted that also thought they were getting a rig by Sam, which of course did not pan out that way. Kos knew that Rafu was rigging the model, but Kos wanted somebody else to do it, but despite that, Rafu was still put on the job, only for Ray to tell Rafu that they won't be the rigger in the end, and said that Kos only wanted JP riggers, so it didn't matter what the quality was. That makes zero fucking sense. If you're gonna lie, at least make up a lie that makes sense.
You suck.
Because this was easily disproven by Kos themselves. They just wanted to work with another rigger and was going to pay with their own money. Yana didn't even know Rafu existed. Huh? Despite Rafu literally helping with their starting soon screen and providing model fixes. Ray's second outfit never happened, thank God. And Apollo's second outfit never happened. Rafu also shows the various excuses, things like a hospital stay, being sick, COVID, a tough week, people dying, which is pretty valid, but if he's lying about that, that's a dick move, that shitty as hell. Being busy, Vshoujo's accountant again, and many more. And also, while Rafu was in call with Ray, this whole list of people that is scrolling down on the screen right now, he was either shit talking or false claiming to be close to. Some familiar faces in this one, like how can you shit talk Zion, Cynical, and Yub? I'm not gonna false claim and say that I'm close friends or anything like that, but they seem very genuine, and Cynical beat my ass in golf at one time, so. And that's basically all with Rafu's doc. Hopefully, not nearly as long as the last one, but okay, on to the next.
Oh, this is absolutely a room of violence. Look at all this stuff.
Okay, Vixie's doc is the second longest. Vixie was one of the talents set to debut under Virtue, and they want us to know that all the staff hired by Ray was also in the dark, so don't blame them.
I was just a cameraman.
Vixie seemed to be brought on board the same time as Scary, October of 2023, and Vixie and Ray also seemed to be buddies during this time. There wasn't anything weird before, so no history of Ray being a fucking weirdo liar bitch, you know? Vixie was also talking to another agency at the time, but ultimately decided to go with Virtue. Bro sent a contract, and Vixie was all on board, you know? Seemed to be excited and everything. And here we are at the V-Shoujo lie. Again. Saying that he was close friends with Gunrun. Also said that Gunrun would be the CMO, but under a different alias. I wonder why a different alias. Maybe because he was capping out of his ass. The reason that Vixie didn't question it was because racial legitimacy of his contacts before. So basically the nigga built enough trust to where people weren't really speculating as hard, or at all, to be honest. Manipulation 101. Even stated that he might quit and give Virtue to Gunrun anyway, which, as we know, is a pre-verification, a falsehood, as one may say. And let me tell you, he ran this lie down to the nail. He made an announcement about bringing a new CMO, which is supposed to be Gunrun in his liar brain. On December 4th of 2024, it came to light of his lies that the partnership with V-Shoujo just didn't exist, like the whole thing. Gunrun wasn't a CMO. There was a possibility of an angel loan. I totally didn't have to look up what an angel loan is. He also promised a partnership with Throne, Discord, and Hoyoverse.
Stop the cap.
Now, Vixie wanted to get a live 2D model with a nude base and maybe non-safe for work toggles, trying to get freaky and shit. It seemed like a lot of options were just out of budget, or apparently they didn't answer back to Ray. Vixie sent Ray multiple options from March to July, and they found someone that they both liked. Just for privacy's sake, Vixie calls them Artist 1 or A1. They fill out the application, Artist 1 accepts it, and boom, work is about to be done. Until Ray wanted to switch artists. Due to the artist Ray reached out to before Artist 1, saying that they were available and that they can make the deadline. Since Vixie liked Artist 2 more than Artist 1, Ray said that they had someone else that can fill Vixie's spot so Artist 1 doesn't get screwed by being cancelled on, you know? Vixie was okay with the switch. Now, Vixie, obviously excited, kinda just let Ray do his job, thinking that Ray would add him onto a group chat when he's able to. This sounds familiar yet at all? Over a month went by, and it was crickets. Vixie contacts Ray to see what's up with the model, since at this point it's October 4th and the deadline is October 21st. Now, this conversation happens on the 4th of October, and Ray says that they're just getting her on Discord to make it, and if I'm understanding it correctly, I'm assuming he means he is getting the artist on Discord to make the group chat. It says that they usually respond fast, but it's 10 PM for the artist, and that they hope that they can make it overnight, which obviously didn't happen due to Ray messaging Vixie on Twitter on the 10th of October. So basically, this nigga seems to be stalling, similar to how he was stalling with Scary.
You must depart on your treacherous word to jerk? To jerk? What?
The 21st of October came, which is the deadline, by the way, and Ray apologizes for the delay and saying that they are in the ER, which he seems to be in the ER a lot, to be honest. He made a paper? What the fuck's going on? He then states that he will make the chat when he gets home. 2 days go by, no chat has been made, and Ray then says that they're having more health complications. Now it's November, past the deadline, by the way, and Vixie is still checking to see if the chat is going to be made. And Ray is like, yeah, I'll make it. But the artist hasn't signed the terms and conditions yet. But at this point, let's just do it. Sure, fuck it, why not? Now, I kind of take this as Ray pushing some blame onto the artist. Obviously, the call still doesn't happen. And at this point, Vixie is stressed the fuck out. Ray then implies that the artist is now ghosting them. And he's gonna get Gunrun involved. Which, goddamn, he didn't let that lie go. They then had a 5-hour-long meeting trying to come up with a plan, and next morning, coincidentally, Iron Mouse posts this tweet. This tweet was to look for a model artist for Kai Cenat, because, you know, they did their collab and shit. Fire, by the way. But Ray used the coincidental timing to kind of reassure Vixie that Ray is pulling strings to get an artist. On top of that, the artist that is supposed to be doing Vixie's model responded to the Iron Mouse tweet, which coincidentally pushed the narrative of the artist ignoring them. And Ray said he got a refund for whatever he paid the artist, and the artist then blocked him. Now, remember when I mentioned that Ray lied about contacting an artist for alerts when I was going over Scary's doc? Well, when that came to light, Vixie grew suspicious and went to talk to the artists themselves to see what exactly happened. right? Well, long story short, Ray didn't even get picked in the application process. The artist didn't even contact Ray. Ray contacted them. No money was even exchanged, which means there was no refund that happened. That was a lie. Which also means that Ray had Vixie hoping for a group chat that was never going to be made. And the whole terms and conditions thing was also fabricated. And basically anything that revolves around this artist, to be real. The real conversation was basically Ray reaching out to the artist basically saying there isn't anything we can do, we didn't pick your application, and you're able to resubmit January to February. My whole thing is, why did he lie? He could have just told Vixie, yo, sorry, but the application didn't get selected. Instead, he just lied about it. Vixie suggests that Ray never applied to Artist 1 and then applied to Artist 2 in an attempt to cover for himself, which is why Ray did that quick switch up on the artist on the 1st of September before he even heard back from Artist 2. And he contacted Artist 2 on September 10th. He also lied about having overlays done. Apparently, Ray had commissioned overlays for a previous talent who was fired and told the designer to just keep the money. Ray told Vixie that he would contact them to slot Vixie in since the slot was paid for. That designer didn't even know who he was. Ray was also consistently late on payments, as we probably already know that by now, to basically everyone you can name. The management team hasn't been paid since October, with one of them never even getting a paycheck despite working for 2 months. Vixie split the costs and emails with their manager to have them done, with the hope that the manager would get paid back by virtue. Vixie's logo still hasn't been paid for, but Vixie's working on that. Vixie's background artist hasn't received payments for months, but that was resolved after Vixie kept telling Ray to pay them. Sound familiar, by the way? Ray would also character assassinate, according to Vixie, that's the wording she used, whenever someone would push back on Ray, and Ray would lie about why someone got terminated, saying that someone breached contract. But when Vixie went and talked to the talent mentioned, or to the talent that got kicked, the real reason was because they made people uncomfortable, not an actual breach of contract. He would then use a slight threat of legal ramifications to keep the talent still under virtue away from the people that got terminated, while Ray still kind of shit-talked them.
My clothes fit better, my hoes better, my tattoos better, I'm stronger than you.
Now, Ray made a final announcement saying that basically the company is done, which the talent seemed to have a field day with. Vixie details more lies being made within this. The announcement was made on the 11th of December in 2024. Now, Ray disappeared on the 6th of December. He later ghosted a Monday meeting with managers on the 9th. According to the roommate, he went on a business trip on the 4th and took his PC with him. And when he returned, he's been at his parents since like the 21st. Ray stated that he hadn't had his PC or phone from the 6th to the 11th. And due to being overwhelmed, he checked into a psychiatric facility.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
But Vixie found on Steam that nigga was playing Marvel Rivals on the 8th. He's a liar. Alright, pause. This video is long as hell, and yes, we're taking a break from the edits. Hi, how's it doing? You got snacks? Drink of water, something? You're probably not even watching up to this point. This video is so long. But to speed things up, hopefully, we won't talk about the Vshoujo lie if it's brought up again, because I think we already know and well established that it was just a big lie. Of course, if some new information about it comes up, I'll let you know. But other than that, the Vshoujo lie, we won't touch on. That's done. We're deading that. And again, please remember to read the documents or at least skim over them yourself. I ain't the end-all be-all, you know. I'm not news. I just think it's interesting, and I like clowning on Ray for being a cuckhead.
Honey.
Now, Soma was an OG of the company, and it seemed pretty cool at the beginning, like I said for, I think, almost every talent so far, especially after their experience with Aurora Live, which is something I didn't think I would say on this channel ever again. Basically, niggas were dreaming big and shit, but Ray just didn't do his job, to which Soma picked up the slack. Like, in my opinion, Soma was low-key doing CEO shit without being paid. They planned marketing, scouted for talents, helped find artists, came up with the idea for watch-alongs, and then forced Ray to talk to the people he hired. Like, what type of CEO do you have to ask to do that? What the fuck? Soma also helped put together things like mood boards and editing them to each talent's in Ray's liking. Soma helped another talent by the name of Synth.ai with basically starting as a VTuber since they were new, and Ray just didn't help them. And then Soma mentions that Ray was also planning to bring people on that were well established to leech off of their fan base, as I would like to call clout chasing. Soma later down the line realized that this shit was a bit odd.
Wait a minute.
Artists were getting told different deadlines in the talents. Ray was blaming artists, which is common Ray activity, stalling on different art pieces. Soma also went to their supposed artist because Ray said she had questions for her, to which the artist said they didn't even accept their request. Which, considering the last document we read, isn't surprising at all. When Soma then went to Ray about this, Ray tried to do some mental gymnastics. And he basically was just like, let me handle the contact for now. What contact, my nigga? There's no contact being had. You not touching shit. Pause. Soma again shows their frustration with Ray about how they will just hire someone themselves since they haven't even gotten a sketch and they debut really soon. They got like 2 months to get shit done. To which Soma then says that Ray started to complain about the amount of work they're doing. And Soma was just like, my nigga, you got managers that are from HoloLive apparently. Have them take the workload off, forehead. Anyways, Soma also was never signed to Virtue or signed an NDA despite what Ray would tell you. Actually, it is what Ray told you because he admitted to Soma not being on a contract. Play the clip.
Which, if he was on a contract, that would have broken NDA. Like if he had already signed his contract, I could fire him in a split second because he would have broken NDA because he would have approached other artists about other talents other than himself.
Bro said if he was on a contract and a bunch of he woulda, you're corny, bro. You're corny. You're corny. You're corny. So Soma tells us that Ray had a lawyer friend making the contracts, but that was taking a while. When Soma tries to see what's up, Ray tells Soma that the lawyer's mom died and that bro is grieving right now, which is fair, it's true. Soma waits for a bit, then asks more questions later on when time has passed, to which Ray was like, I got the contract, don't worry, we got the contract. Yeah, but I need to look over it again. And I actually don't like this lawyer. And once I find another lawyer, I'm gonna have to look over it again to tweak some things. Basically, Soma never signed shit because nothing was ever given to sign. Now, Soma was waiting 3 weeks to get a sketch back from an artist. Ray is obviously giving excuses, one of them being that the artist's mom died, which, fair, true. Soma, however, in my opinion, understandably so, was like, then we need to find someone else, especially with the deadline of 2 months. At this point, Soma was just like, fuck it, I'll hit up Lulu, another member who was also supposed to receive a sketch from their model. Soma made mood boards for both of them, and then Soma went to an artist and paid for both of their sketches with their own dinero. Ray did not fuck with that though. Lulu told Ray what happened. I don't think Lulu did this to like snitch, by the way, just letting Ray know type shit. And Ray saw this as Soma betraying him. And Ray wanted a meeting with Soma, which he kept pushing back over and over. Soma, clearly understanding what might happen, was trying to explain themselves. Like a lot. You know when a nigga is trying to explain themselves when they send in voice messages. That's how you know they really trying to explain themselves. Basically, Soma was trying to explain that everyone was already nervous and that if you don't want to use the art I commissioned, that's cool, we can consider it fan art. Basically, someone's just trying to make people's lives easier and ease the stress, you know? But after that interaction, Soma went and apologized to everyone regardless. This messed with Soma so much they went to a mental institution and let 2 of their friends manage their Discord. During this time, Ray then had them blacklisted and made all the talents block them. Soma was fired. You're fired! Without Ray even telling Soma they were fired. When Soma was fired, this is where Ray then was starting to talk shit about them. To paint Soma as a bad person, basically. Things like Soma pressured an artist to finish an art piece despite their mom dying, saying they broke NDA, saying that Ray was sued for 100 bands, and he went far with this lie, by the way, saying that Soma wasn't showing up for court dates, that the feds showed up to Brody's door. Ray would even tell the talents to keep watch on Soma's activity in socials, even on the past life account, which is fucking weird. Soma basically had free reign in this nigga head, rent free, crazy. Now, obviously, these are lies. One, we know what Soma's response was about the whole artist mom dying thing. They just went and got another artist with their own money. 2, no NDA could have been broken because Soma didn't sign shit.
Which, if he was on a contract, that would have broken NDA.
And 3, Soma has never received a $100,000 lawsuit, which means there was no court date to dodge. And Ray later down the line apologizes, which Soma forgives, thinking Ray changed for the better. And as we can see, that definitely did not happen. Soma gives us a list of more lies, which I'm going to quickly read out. Omacat from Merch hiring Lappy, a person who did music for Arc Knights, to do BGM for Soma, claiming to have connections to Studio Trigger, claiming to know Giga's pricing and paying him to make a song, lying about Surge VT wanting money to be on a song. Fuck you, Surge, by the way.
Fuck you.
Cheating asshole. Anyway, claiming to work with Shoto, and false ID. Also, special shout out to someone, by the way. They gave me a list of talents and stuff, so I'm able to properly credit them in the description. And that's all they did, by the way. They didn't sway my decision or opinion or anything like that. They don't even know what I'm about to say in this video. So, Soma could absolutely hate what the fuck this video is and what I'm saying, and they could absolutely hate it. So, if this video turns out to be not in people's favor, don't blame Soma. Alright? Alright. Next, Doc.
Knowledge doesn't go there. I know trains can fly.
That is not correct.
Now, Kaz joined back in autumn of 2023, set to debut in the second gen named Spark. They too was fired for questioning how the company was handled. Now, just like every other talent, things seemed good at the beginning. Now, this wave was supposed to be debuting after Off-Kai, and a whole song was planned. Then, crickets. Updates were few and far between as usual. More promises arise, but nothing really to back it up for real. And Kaz knew something was off, to which he started to talk to another member about it to see if he was tripping or not. Ray begins talking shit about another talent and just other people in general.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
And this will be the only time Ray is active. Now, of course, we got more issues with getting a model. Kaz and Ray were supposed to both find an artist and both agree on it, which is cool. Okay. But Kaz says that Ray wasn't really following the Waves theme and trying to self-insert into Kaz's design.
Weird.
Which is weird. Now, of course, Ray isn't really being clear about what's going on to Kaz. So Kaz goes to Kuzi, which is the COO, not just staff. Kuzi relays what he can, and eventually Ray gets back to him and says that it was because of a late payment. But Kaz did receive a final sketch, but it was late, obviously. Kaz, obviously upset, vented to a fellow talent about how unprofessional Ray is. Now let's go back to Ray's statement that he said on Discord that we covered earlier, when he said he cracked under the pressure of all the work or whatever the fuck. However, Kaz highlights the times Ray failed to set up meetings, and others always had to approach Ray, to which Ray would just give them an excuse. Kaz also highlights the time people ask Ray to just pay them, all of them saying that they will just stop working until paid, because, you know, they need the bread to do the job. Now, when Kaz got booted from the company, Ray actually had the balls to tell them, unlike what they did to Soma. In the message, he details that he found out about a group chat between Kaz and a few others that weren't named, that allegedly slandered Ray and other management and talent, and that it hurt their feelings or whatever the fuck. Sorry, I'm being an a-hole. My bad. I apologize. Now, Kaz explains that the quote-unquote hate chat that Ray is mentioning wasn't a hate chat. It was simply to vent frustrations about how things were playing out and to figure out how to proceed with, you know, all the shit that's going on. Someone went and actually snitched to Ray and skewed it in a malicious way. And Ray portrayed it in a malicious way as well, and even said he would share what was sent to him, but blur the name of the nigga that snitched.
Is this nigga serious?
And Ray proceeded to do what he did to Soma, putting Kaz on a blacklist, using the whole NDA thing to fearmonger, etc. Now, about the NDA, since Kaz is in Canada, the NDA that was on the contract didn't have an end date or timeline, which doesn't hold up in his country at all. And then Ray tried having Kaz pay for a model, to which then Kaz went to the model artist just to find out Ray didn't even book the artist, so Ray was just trying to steal money from him. If anything, Ray owes Kaz money because Ray didn't provide a 30-day written notice of being terminated, which means Ray breached the contract. And of course, here's some other partnership lies Ray told. You know, cherry on top, cherry on top. Next! Inky and Jojo.
You know what? That's it. I'm done. I quit.
Or Joju. I'm sorry if I fuck it up. I'm gonna say Jojo, but if it's wrong, please correct me in the comments. Now, Inky was the character designer and actually signed to the agency in February of 2024. Ray owes Inky about 4 bands because they haven't been paid since September of 2023. They have worked on 10 projects, 7 of them completed, 3 of them just concepts or scrapped. And they had like actual working hours, 5 days a week, 4 to 6 hours. Inky highlights the quote-unquote power imbalance between them because Ray was his friend, or at least Inky thought he was, and his boss. Ray would commonly vent to Inky, usually shit-talking the COO, Kuzi, which we'll get back to in a minute. which actually led to Inky not trusting Kuzi until all this came to light, of course. Inky thought this was a bit weird, low-key, but tried to just hear him out and, you know, be a good friend. And Inky admits that they should have taken the money off Rip, but due to Ray being his friend and a boss, he thought Ray would pay them eventually, which hasn't happened. Ray would also try to ward Inky off from talking to the talents, like usual common behavior, and even did slick shit by asking for a redesign, but also asking a different artist for the same redesign at the same time.
You suck.
And Inky provides multiple screenshots with Ray stating that they will pay them, but as we know, Ray has not. Now, JoJo was brought on to be a manager in 2023, but they never actually got a contract despite Ray constantly telling JoJo that they're going to get one. Mind you, JoJo came out of an abusive agency already that was really messing with him. However, Ray advertised basically a miracle so JoJo would join. JoJo decided to terminate his current contracts that Ray will pay for, so they would have less hours to work, and a salary that could support himself and their now wife, which is huge for JoJo because they are also disabled. And Ray knew about the past with abusive agencies and seemingly about JoJo's disability. So Ray, you for f***ing them over. I probably had to bleep that out. I've been cussing a lot in this video. So while JoJo is asking and waiting on his written contract that they can sign, eventually Ray just ghosts them. And then fires them after promising a manager job for 2 months and allowed him to work with some of the talents as well already. But why? The reason being he wanted a more renowned talent manager. Ray says he will pay them for the work they did, but then proceeds to ghost them. Just, you know, Danny Phantom in this motherfucker, I guess. This really fucks up JoJo's mental state, and luckily their wife helped them get back on their feet. Ray did this thing of spreading rumors about them as a manager to other people and even their ex-talents that JoJo managed, saying things like they are a liar, basically projecting, and they are money hungry, projecting yet again.
You need your balls to be chopped off or something.
What?
Kiri. Now, Kiri and Ray first met when Ray hit them up on Twitter, just complimenting their design and stuff, just trying to chop it up. Months later, Ray asked them to join Virtue. They were a bit hesitant, but Ray convinced them by basically lying. Now, of course, Kiri touches on the Vshoujo thing, but I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore. However, they did add the context of Ray saying they may even collab with Vshoujo members.
You do realize that we can see you lying, right?
Kiri says that Ray would let go of talents without clear explanations and then badmouth them, which we've seen examples of. Kiri states that after a conflict between an artist and a talent, Ray added a new rule that inhibits talents from contacting artists and riggers directly. Ray also owes Kiri some money, about like $300 just to round it up, for a microphone. One of Kiri's community managers were kind enough to get them a part of the equipment. Ray promised to cover the remaining amount, which they never did. They needed that money for rent, and then they just wanted it for their dog's care. Also, when Kiri debuted back in November of 2024, Ray asked for their monthly revenue after 2 weeks. But why? Kiri suggests that he just deducts the amount he owed her from their share, which wasn't acknowledged, and I'm not gonna lie, kinda confused. This is the dumb static moment. So Kiri wants Ray to deduct the amount Ray owes her from her share? Wouldn't that mean Kiri is taking money? Wouldn't that mean Kiri is saying to take money from her? I'm probably stupid though, I don't know. Please clarify that, I'm dumb. Kiri also figures out that a debut trailer teaser was supposed to be covered by the agency, but Ray had let her believe otherwise and let her pay for it to make his finances look better. Marketing was also very shitty. Kiri's debut announcement happened just 1 day before the debut. Now, if you don't understand how idiotic that is, imagine you spend a lot of money to produce a movie and you only air the trailer the day before it appears in theaters. Guess what? Very few people may show up. Kiri was also promised a watch along with people like Henya, but plans kept changing, and then apparently Frame was supposed to be there. Also, I didn't actually know who Frame was before this. I peeped them out. Kinda cool, I'm not gonna lie. I fuck with him. Anyway, it's not the point. Point is, the watch-alongs didn't happen. Ray also promised Kiri assets for the Virtue debut, which didn't get delivered, and when Kiri saved the other assets that they had for the personal debut, which seemed to be the plan, Ray insisted that they were for the Virtue debut instead. Ray also promised to contact an artist and rigger, which was delayed because Ray is a lazy bastard and contacted the artist late. Kiri also explained that they were a bit scared to speak up due to being fired, especially after seeing how Ray treated talents that got terminated. And Kiri also states how it was just weird to communicate with Ray, as he would ghost and then message you on Twitter, which is just odd. Discord mobile exists. It's donkey, but it exists.
And oh, yes, of course. Sorry. You guys know the song?
Yumemi and Riru are put together because their documents kind of coincide a little bit. Bear with me. Yumemi was signed to Virtue in December 2023, and Riru was waiting to be onboarded around February. Riru was joining to be a manager part-time and then do art full-time. They even quit their corporate job thinking they would start around that time, but since communicating with Ray is harder than fighting with Dawn on New Game Plus 7,
Please let me go.
they ended up being signed in April, but they didn't mind the extra time off. Riru joins the server and stuff around the end of January just to get familiar with all the talents, but made it clear they won't work until the start of their contract. Despite this though, Virtue's Spark Wave, the one that had like Kaz in it, and Yumemi, who I will call Yume for short. This wave didn't know what to do because Ray didn't give them any sort of guidance or direction. So Riru let them know, hey, I don't work until April, so the best I can do is give guidance. Riru popped in, gave advice, helped the wave make tracking sheets, basically things that will help set them on track, with no clear communication from Ray. Riru's onboarding was delayed again due to Ray focusing on a lawsuit against Kaz, who Ray was terminating at this point, which we talked about earlier. Obviously, we know that Ray was capping out of his ass. Riru's onboarding gets pushed back even more, but at this point, the talents are just being neglected, so Riru decides to help anyway. And Ray even says that Riru will be compensated. Riru is then onboarded on the 22nd of April, and first thing that was supposed to happen was Ray is going to organize a Trello account for the management to get things started for the talents. With all the things Riru basically got set up already. Shit seemed to be moving smoothly. Riru was supposed to be paid bi-weekly. This, however, was difficult for Ray to accomplish. Before it was supposed to be bank transfers, or bank payments, or whatever the fuck, Riru noticed nothing was just in their account. So they went to Ray. Riru asked if they should just do PayPal. Ray asked for the email, and then, you know, the usual. Ray is dodging questions, dismissing Riru, and basically stalling on paying them. Also, Riru discovered that Ray was lying about Off-Kai as well. Riru is simply like, yo dude, I'm not working if you not paying, and decides to focus on their art, which they are really good at, by the way. Look at this shit, kinda cool. And boom, payment was given on PayPal, just for Ray to miss another payment soon after. Now, Riru did everything they possibly could with setting things up. The only thing Ray has to do is budget the shit. Many people are going unpaid, and Ray is just fucking Danny Phantom again. In Riru and Yumi's doc details the statement Riru put out to get the ball rolling again. And it was Riru basically spitting fat. Yumi asked a friend in the other wave named Saga if they heard anything about their wave Spark, which they hadn't. And Yumi let them know what's going on. Ray didn't respond to Riru's statement at all. Yumi was trying to basically stick up and stand behind Riru, and Riru was talking to others trying to figure out what's happening. That's when they learned other staff members haven't been paid either. At all, or haven't been paid in a long time. Riru then pings the server again, being transparent and voicing their concerns about the agency and Ray, saying that the pay is very inconsistent and that communication is way too sparse and unclear. And that isn't just her that feels this way, of course, or experienced the same shit. 20 minutes later though, them niggas got booted. Ray nuked them. They both got terminated, saying that they were messaging staff and talent in an inappropriate manner, saying Riru was coercing talents to make a group DM, which as we know, isn't how that went at all, and saying Riru was slandering people.
These lies on my name.
And of course, after Riru and Yumi was terminated, he talked shit about Riru. That was just untrue. Riru's final statements was basically cool, but give me my money. And Yumi's was like, you know, kill him with kindness type shit. You feel me? On to Kuzi, and I think this is the last one.
Nice to meet you. I push up my nerdy, adorable glasses.
What?
Kuzi's been brought up a lot, so now let's go into what he has to say. Now, Kuzi is the COO and roommate of Ray. They live in the same fucking house. Hopefully, that nigga can find another crib though, cause you know, we kinda beating Ray's ass right now, I'm not gonna lie. They were only a COO by name. They never signed a contract or NDA, and also never got paid. Now, I want everyone to know that since they were roommates, there isn't a bunch of screenshots because, you know, they would talk in real life like people. It's crazy, right? Not talking to someone on Discord. Go touch grass. Anyways, when Kuzi moved in, Ray mentioned plans of doing a VTuber agency. Kuzi said if Ray needed any help, you know, let him know. Ray took them up on that, and they went public with Virtue in October of 2023 and started scouting and going through people that, you know, reached out to join. Kuzi would send out emails to all the applicants, making a generic one for those that didn't make the cut and sending an email to those who did, and also arranged and was a part of the interviewing process, excluding like 2 staff members. And everything seemed good. Kuzi, as we know, however, never had any handling with getting artists and dealing with commissioning work. That was all Ray. And as we know, people went to Kuzi, and Kuzi couldn't really do much other than go to Ray and relaying whatever Ray tells him. Now, when the Wave 1 debuts kicked off, Kuzi was trying to stream early and then end in time to get to the Wave 1 stream. Then Ray tells Kuzi to stop stream 30 minutes in and help with the debuts, and help one of them specifically because they'd never been a VTuber before. Ray didn't help at all because he had a family emergency and didn't come back until the next day. Kuzi also thanks the watch along partners for that wave, but sadly 2 of them didn't get their payment until way late, and one of them haven't been paid at all, and he apologizes. And again, remember, Kuzi has no part in paying people. That's not his job. Wave 2, which is Spark. As we know, Wave 2 had a lot of questions about when things are getting done, but of course, Kuzi isn't involved with any of the artists or commissions. He's not even in those conversations.
14 feet, I don't know.
So he couldn't really say anything. He could just reassure the talents, and that's really it. Kuzi had questioned himself about when things will get done. Eventually, 3 of the talents and a manager was dropped, so Kuzi was on Ray's side, but he was being lied to. Now in Wave 3, Saga, that's what it's called, things got weird after they found talents and a manager. Kuzi realized he wasn't having to go to almost any meetings with Ray and the other staff. Ray would then lie on him, saying that Kuzi didn't care or was missing in important parts of the company, which it kind of seems to be Ray missing from important parts, if anything, to be real. Ray at this point seemed or expressed being stressed, to where Kuzi suggested to delegate some of the workload onto him and the third wave's manager. Saga's manager would often contact Kuzi for something in regards to Ray or updates. So much so that Ray got upset at Kuzi for asking so much. Not his fault you ain't doing your job. At this point, they realize Saga's socials ain't doing too hot, so Kuzi is basically trying to do Ray's job. He even asked talents if they needed any support on socials, to which no one responded, which we'll circle back to later. A few weeks before the Wave's debut, Ray said he had to leave to San Francisco for a meeting with VShojo, which we know is a lie.
You lie!
There's no telling what he did in Cali, I'm gonna be honest. He said he'd be gone from November 4th to the 10th and asked Kuzi to do some work for him while he was gone, doing the meeting with the definitely real VShojo team or whatever. Ray told Kuzi that he is returning early, but is going to be at his parents' crib until December 3rd. Saga did debut, but they had to do it in parts since certain things weren't finished, but they managed to get more watch-alongs, so that's pretty cool. They did go unpaid though. Ray also lied to Kuzi about getting Basil Wolf to do his 2.0 model. Basically, Kuzi tried contacting Basil Wolf, even though Basil doesn't do commissions for models, but decided to try anyway, you know, shooting a shot. And Basil Wolf just didn't see it, probably because during this time, Basil Wolf was moving. Ray, however, did actually have a contact and asked the contact to hit up Basil, which actually did happen, but Basil never responded.
I'm asking for your credit card!
What did Ray proceed to do? Tell Kuzi that Basil is willing to do it, and then let him on for a bit, saying that Basil added Ray on Discord and stuff, when in reality, none of that was true. Basil didn't respond. Why even lie about that one? I don't understand why he lied. Ray also had Kuzi unlisted in the chain of command. Ray instead gave it to the 2 first wave managers and the third wave's managers to lead the ship while he takes a step back for a mental reset, which is odd considering what we know Kuzi did for the talents that worked there. But you know, it is what it is. Ray then calls Kuzi on December 6th saying that he won't be reachable, which he seemed to never be anyways, until the 9th of December, and told Kuzi to relay this information to the third wave's manager and not the first wave manager, which is weird. Turns out this whole time, Ray had been making Kuzi out to be a villain. Hence why when Kuzi asked if the talents needed help with their socials, nobody said anything, because Ray told lies saying that Kuzi doesn't pay his rent, saying that Kuzi doesn't do anything and he doesn't know what he's paying him for. How do you lie twice in one sentence like that? Like, how do you... you lie crazy there. Actual Nimrod on some Green Day shit. And that's why everyone in the company kind of looked at Kuzi a bit funny because of Ray's lies. Oh, and Ray also said this to Kuzi. Look at the screen real quick. Read it for yourself. It feels like a subliminal threat of kicking Kuzi out of the house and making Kuzi homeless. Isn't Ray just a charming fella? Such a great guy, filled with glee.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know I said Kuzi was the last one. Then when I thought the video was over, like I finished editing it, I went back and noticed I didn't talk about this one. So yeah, Kaya started off basically getting screwed over with people that used AI and traced, basically shitty people, bad people, and they like scammed her and her community out of money. And all this happened before joining Virtue. Kaya met Ray through a collab and things seemed cool. Ray invited her to the company and said that he wanted to help her succeed. They got into talks about artists and budget. Kaya thought about her options and came back with a bunch of references and written ideas about their model, to which Inky, who we talked about earlier, was reached out to do the design. Ray also told Kaya that he was going to ship her a phone for face tracking, but that seemed to just not happen. Either Ray lied about it or it just never arrived. Kaya ended up buying their own and Ray said he would just pay her back. They ended up finding a model artist and Ray did give options to swap to another artist that had a slot open. I don't think Kaya took that opportunity though, but assets were getting done. Logos, emotes, things of that nature. And everything was actually happening, which is a bit rare considering everything else we've talked about today. Ray did also let Kaya know there is going to be a group song, but she later finds out that he lied to a lyricist saying that the talents disliked the lyrics. But the talents didn't even know he hired a lyricist at all. Kaya was actually getting more updates about their model. Kaya was actually having stuff done, but things started to slow down, like a lot. Kaya was planning on leaving their job to pursue VTubing for at least a year. They were supposed to debut late January of 2024, but that didn't end up happening. And this is where communication just started being just bad. And that's when the studio that is making Kaya's model hits her up like, yo, have you heard from Ray? That big nerd owes us money on some Moon Knight shit, you feel me? Kaya was never in contact with them until now, and Ray's excuse was a death in the family, being sick, and in the hospital, which is one of his most used excuses. Again, is this nigga made out of paper? What is going on? Kaya shows us proof of this through various screenshots. Ray was also supposed to purchase a stream deck, which is a viable tool to have. Without it, I wouldn't be able to do this. Kinda cool, isn't it? He said he would also replace a PC fan, have an animated starting, BRB, and ending screen, to which Ray just forgot about.
Serious right now, bro.
And just other assets and things that just got thrown away or forgotten. There's also talks about a 2.0, but Kaya also highlights something Ray did that seemingly only happened to her, where Ray just let Kaya know that they're starting a new account for the 4K they discussed, and that he'll still work on new assets to use with their model that would be paid off by this month. They also apologized to them about how he hasn't been paying much attention to her and making Kaya feel unappreciated and stuff, which obviously put Kaya in a weird spot. I personally don't know why Ray did this with only Kaya. Maybe he had a favorite. I don't know. Nigga is still weird. Ray also wanted Kaya to collab with him and 2 Hollow Star members. You know damn well this nigga had no contact with Hollow Star members. He was also trying to introduce a new wave, which is weird considering he was still having people that haven't gotten paid. Kaya also goes into detail about the rigging and Rafu. Since we already talked about Rafu in this video, I'll try to skip over things we basically already know. Kaya was under the assumption Rafu was rigging the whole time, when in reality, Ray gave Rafu the model way later and very close to the debut date. Ray also said he would give her a second monitor, which Kaya's dad ended up doing, and Ray said he was gonna pay him back, but didn't because he's a liar. Kaya, not really knowing what to do with the PSD file, had Inky help her determine what layer it is. Also, the layer seemed to be in a different language, so, you know, that makes things a little bit more hard. And if you refer back to Rafu's part of this video, Rafu didn't get paid, as we know. Well, he got paid very much later, but at this point, he wasn't paid. Kaya did want to pay herself, but Rafu was like, nah, Ray's gonna run me my money, not you. Kaya was actually fortunate enough to have a model and all that stuff actually done, but Kaya didn't really know what to do afterwards. She was in an agency, but with no clear direction at all. Kaya was also swayed into believing the lies that Ray was telling about Kuzi, that ties into another lie about Anime Expo. But the Anime Expo thing was a silly lie, because if you don't know, if you have a booth, it's very easy to verify if you have one or not. I would know this as being a part of one for Comic-Con. And Kaya knows because she worked for that convention for like 10 years. And she was working there again for that year and tried contacting Ray multiple times while being there, to which Ray ignored. And Kaya highlights even more gossiping Ray would do, as we know. He likes to talk shit. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the final doc. I apologize, I forgot this one. I came back and did it though. Okay, now we're going into the conclusion. That's the last one for sure. Dog! Oh boy, this shit was long, huh? And I apologize it was this long. I also apologize if I skipped a document or missed someone. I really did try. But if you're a talent or ex-staff and I missed you, I sincerely apologize, gang. I really did try my best. There are other statements made on Twitter that just validates everyone's story even more. Zion Z was someone affected and they had empty promises, ghosting, and unprofessionalism. And Zion is the homie low-key. Sorry you had to go through that, gang. I'm gonna list the rest that also experienced just awful things. We have Blair, Apollo, Yana, Aqua, Kale Kiyomi, and of course everyone else I touched on in this video. My opinion, Ray is just a bad person. Bad person. I'm glad he's gone. By the way, if you're wondering, why isn't like Ray's side covered? There isn't none. He's gone. He's not on. He even deleted Twitter. I'm so glad I saved this PNG of his model before he dipped. Oh man, I love my foresight. He'll probably come back though. They always do. They'll probably come back as something else. I want everyone to go show the now indie VTuber some love. Don't go harassing Ray even if he comes back somehow. I should talk to him enough factually for like almost an hour or so. I'll try to link all the talents and VTubers, including the staff, if I can. If you made it this far, you either needed something long to put on the background or you like my channel a lot. Either way, I appreciate you. Again, thanks to Soma for reaching out and, you know, showing acts of kindness. I hope I lived up to their expectations and all the talent's expectations. I wish them all the best. Peace. Also, if any Play Marvel rivals hit me up. I need people to play with, gang. Shit. I'm shooting my shot right now. Pew pew.